Hello everyone, my name is PolishLynx and welcome to another episode of the Passion Quest. The choices in this game are really hard, but sometimes really there is only one option you can choose, and it can really get you mad, but what can you do? We are learning here a very interesting story actually, and noticing such a thing is a very good thing for people that need help actually. So let's continue. What you really want more than anything is turn your brain off and just disappear for a while. You sink resignedly into your couch and start playing video games, but you can't seem to focus on what's happening on screen. You cycle through a few different games, but tonight everything seems either too tedious, or too aggravating for you to play for more than a few minutes. A few of your online friends invite you to play a game with them, but the prospect of having to talk, let alone cooperate, with other people seems incredibly unpleasant. You decide to give the video games a rest for the evening, for you worry that you've offended your online friends and your next conversation will be awkward because of it, giving you yet another source of stress to weigh down tonight. You boot up Netflix and cycle through some of your favorite shows and movies that you'd flagged as wanting to come back to, but again, nothing seems to be able to hold your attention. You feel what you can only be described as a mentally fidgety, like there's an unscratchable itch somewhere on your brain that is becoming increasingly hard to ignore. You send off a quick text to Alex, hoping that conversation will help pull you out of your head enough to relax, but you know she's in class tonight and the chances of her replying are slim. You head into the kitchen for food and come out with not so much a sandwich as just peanut butter or 2 pieces of bread. You pace anxiously around your apartment while you eat, irritated both by whatever this nerve-wracking feeling is and by your ability to just ignore it and unwind. Your evening is filled with half-successful attempts at distractions, and you ultimately head to bed late, head filled with static. It's Wednesday evening and you're visiting at your parents' house for holiday. It's one of a handful of times during the year you drive out to visit your old hometown, and you've seen random people you had gone to school with around town. Whenever bumping into them, the usual short versions of what you've done since graduating are exchanged. You've gone through a few of these today and have been very aware of how much you feel you haven't accomplished. When you were in high school, you had much larger plans and feel like you failed to manifest most of them. If you had, even if you had managed to, you largely lost interest in what you thought you wanted to do growing up. Now you are not really sure what you want to do, and you felt like you were lacking the ambition or drive to figure it out. Everyone you've caught up with seems so much happier than you, like they've got their lives all figured out, and you've kind of been feeling like a failure by comparison. Your brother Malcolm arrives with his wife in town shortly before you all sit down to dinner. He's been traveling for his job lately, and you haven't seen him since the day he picked you up from the dentist. Your parents haven't seen him since before then. During dinner they all catch up, and Malcolm told us about amazing things he's done on the road. Your mother turns to you and asks what you've been up to since you've seen them last. Oh, same old, you say, nothing really new going on. Your mother makes a face of nothing new. How long are you planning on staying at that jump of yours? What do you say? Oh man. The third one would be good. But we have no choice. Excuse yourself to the bathroom. As your mother looks across the table at you expectantly, everything inside you wants to run away. You've had this conversation with her enough to know that anything you can say would either be a lie or would result in a lecture. After spending the day feeling you're a failure already, you can't really handle more on the same from your family regardless of how well they mean. Actually, I'll be right back. I have to use the restroom. You excuse yourself from the table despite not actually having to use the facilities and head to the bathroom. Lock the door behind you and flip down the toilet lid. Take a seat and rest your head in your hands. You take a few deep breaths as your mind runs through its typical self-depressing scripts. Though you still feel as though it's a moment of relief. Even though you love your family, you really feel like they don't have you at all sometimes, and this makes them exhausting to be around on nights like this. You wish you could tell them what you are feeling, that sometimes it feels like you are lost in the woods, and that if you were to drop that in your apartment, the world wouldn't notice. You want to make her understand that more often than not you feel like an alien, like there isn't anywhere in this world that feels like a place where you belong, and you have no idea how to fix it or what to do. You wish you could find the words so they would understand you, but you end up feeling like an outsider instead. Instead, you decided to remove yourself from the situation and calm down. You couldn't see a resolution where attempting those things would work, and you needed a moment of space instead. You hear a knock on the door. Malcolm's voice comes to the door. Hey kiddo, you alright in there? You've been in there for a while. Yeah, I was just feeling a little sick. Well, if anything I can get you, let me know. They're about to serve pie for if you're feeling up to it. Yeah, I'll be out in a minute. Malcolm is quiet for a minute. Hey, just so you know, I'm really proud of you. You hear his big footsteps walk away from the door, and you splash some water on your face before leaving to rejoin your family. Well, at least one is support for us. It's a rainy night. You are hurrying through the rain to Alex's apartment at her behest. For your pace is quick, the rain is steadily soaking up your pant legs as you traverse the town, and it's darkening your already poor mood. The call came while you were at home after a day of dealing with abnormally frustrating people. You'd spend the afternoon trying to unwind and get some work on your project done. Alex called and interrupted one of you try to make progress. Get frustrated at not making progress. Have a harder try making progress due to frustration. Repeat. Loops and you haven't fully shaken off the feelings of being annoyed with yourself from it yet. You knock on her door, and on the third knock her voice called from further in the apartment to come on in. As you cross the threshold, dripping rainwater all the way, you notice that the lights are turned down very low in the apartment. You squint to navigate it as you clutch onto your damp umbrella, but end up hitting your shin on the side table, mumbling a profanity under your breath. You barely make out Alex emerging from the hallway, clad in what looks to be a robe, with the bare skin of her legs peering out underneath. Why don't you come in and warm up? She asked in her designated, slightly cheesy, sexy voice. Why? After a bit of silence, she states more naturally, my roommates are out of town this weekend, so I thought it might be nice to have a little fun while they're away. You appreciate her affection, but you're too wrapped up in your own negative feedback loops to be in the mood right now. What do you do? What? Why? Oh man. Actually, the only reason I choose the fourth option is because I can't choose anyone else. Seriously. That will end so bad. I can feel that right now. You start unsure of how to phrase your feeling in a way that doesn't hurt her. Even at those words, her facing is falling. Right, this is sudden, she says, clutching the top of her robe closed. No, it's not you, She cuts you off. It's not you, it's me, right? It's okay, I get it. She moves to her bookshelf and blows out candles you had failed to notice. It was cheesy anyway. The hurt in her voice cuts you down to your core. You can tell she feels rejected by you, and everything feels like it's happening so quickly and slipping through your fingers. You wish you were telepathic and could let her know exactly how you feel about her, so that she wouldn't be wounded by your own mood. This was all really nice, I just have had a hard day, and you stammer, but she leaves the room and you hear the bedroom door close. Unsure of what else to do, you sit down on her couch to wait for her to return. You feel terrible for hurting her when she clearly meant nothing but good, although you didn't want to have sex with her right this moment. You are beating yourself up for handling it so poorly. Why couldn't you find the right words to let her down gently without her thinking that she had done something wrong? Why do you have to be such a shitty partner? She emerges from her room, not dressed. Her eyes are red, but you can tell she is trying to not show that she was crying. I actually have to do a lot of coursework, so maybe you should head home. This was kind of a dumb idea anyway, sorry. Okay, you matter not wanting to make things worse. A couple of seconds pass as neither of you are sure of what to say from. You leave with a quick goodbye and cruise yourself the entire way home. They broke up. They will break up. It's an early winter evening, even though it's not particularly late. The time of year has slanted the sky and almost prematurely darkened cast. Day after day, just like today, you trudge home from a job you have increasingly come to hate. On this day, your job misery seems to have reached critical mass, and not even shedding your rain-laden and uncomfortable work clothes helps you to unwind from your workday. You collapse into your couch, blank and numb, while your job always seemed to just be an unpleasant reality of existence. It was a position you sort of fell into expectantly, never intending to work there long term, and it's getting harder and harder to keep it up. While it's certainly not your dream job, you've always just stuck it out of necessity before, but it's becoming increasingly difficult to do that. So you couldn't even begin to imagine what else you could do. You find yourself face to face with question you just can't ignore. Is your complacency worth the price of this level of misery? What do you do? The third one, I would choose the third one. But we only can choose the TV option. You grab the TV remote, wanting nothing more than to forget all about the terrible day you had at work. You flip on the TV and let yourself get swallowed up by a couch. You grab your laptop to surf the internet while you watch TV, paying no real attention to either. Maybe Attic will be there again. You watch a few reruns of shows you're at best indifferent towards, and a movie on TV that's a few years old, all while while you scroll idly through your Twitter feed. At the end of the night, you don't really feel any better so much as you just feel numb, which is basically what you were going for anyways. Ultimately, it gets late enough that you tell yourself you should probably call it a night. You beat yourself up over the fact that you didn't accomplish anything this evening, but at least you managed to forget about your job for a couple of hours. As you fall asleep, you are actually aware of the fact that after a mere few hours sleep, you've got to do it all again. I really don't know how to feel about this game. Actually, it's not a game, it's a story, but you can learn about depression actually by that. So it's amazing. I can tell that. This is the end of the episode for now, and I see you in the next one. Bye.